The Ministry of Education has been carrying out various regional visits around the country for educational interventions and strategies to ensure consistent quality across Namibia. We are joined by the Deputy Minister of Education, Arts and Culture, Faustina Caley, to discuss key findings from her regional visits. Good evening, Minister, and thank you for being here today.
Good evening.
Minister, if you can
Thank you for having me.
All right. Briefly, just tell us what were the key findings from your visit to various regions regarding the national examination results.
Thank you very much. I really enjoy being in these regions. Maybe to give you background, we have 14 regions in the country. What we did is we drafted one message, the minister and I, and then we divided the regions. And I, for example, took Commerce, and then Karas and Hardap. Then I went to Oshikoto, Kunene, Otodonjupa, and then I finished with Erongo. Now, when you listen to what's going on as we are implementing the education, most of the things are almost the same, but you know regions differ.
Of course.
Then we see that some of the things are not the same. What I notice is the fact that after the examination, especially the external examination for grade 11 and 12 or AS, we always meet with the regions. And then we analyze the result, then we send them, then we tell them to go and do the same. But then they go and analyze the result from grade 1, and not only the grade 11 and 12. Yeah, and now when they came, or then they present how they did their regions. So when we went now to the regions, it's now to see what they gave us. Is it still the same? But I noticed that there's an improvement, maybe because they already presented to us, there's improvement in especially the grades you are asking, grade 11 and 12. And because we realize that the semester is too long, if we don't do some intervention, then we will not get the result we want. You remember 2022, we didn't do well, but improved 2023. And now all this effort, we want them to improve again for 2024 results. What they looked at is that maybe the teaching and learning materials, including the textbooks. But then from us as a ministry, we made sure that all the schools with AS, they have this interact screen, the touch screens. That one, even if you don't have a textbook, if it's the content loaded, they can utilize and improve. The good thing also with that one is when they complain that the teacher came maybe late, and with that equipment, even if you don't have a teacher at that moment you are waiting, you can be linked to the other school who have that subject teacher, and then they can also step in and help the children. Yeah, the other is mostly is on teaching and learning materials. And then we responded to that one, yes.
Deputy Minister, maybe just if you can highlight some of the specific challenges that you came across when you visited the regions and how the ministry is planning to address them.
As I mentioned, that we look holistic to the school, starting from grade 1. Majority of the schools complain of challenges in the primary is overcrowded classrooms. Yes. Whereby in the secondary is much, much better, at least. You don't have so many learners in one class. But we find out that, as I say, regions differ. For example, we have a water problem in some of the schools in Oshikoto. And we also in Kunene. And then some complaints is like parental involvement. It's lacking in some communities. And then discipline. Discipline, we got it all over. We went. They were complaining about learners who are indisciplined and they don't know how to deal with this, some of these cases. And yes, because our visit is really to listen, and then we come up to tell them what should they do and what should they use in some of the things. For example, what I like is wherever we went, in some cases the governor was there, and the regional councillors was there, the CRO was there. Almost the leadership of the regions really supported us. Their presence make a difference. For water problem, for example, in Oshikoto, it was taken up by the councillor. He said they have these CDCs and RDCCs, this committee. If they channel the problem there, instead of keeping for us as a ministry to solve the water problem, maybe it will be difficult. But since the regional government can take it up, and then it will become better. The presence of the regional leadership, makes our things to get well. Another issue what I really observe, and which we really appreciate as a ministry, in Rongo, for example, the governor was not present due to other commitment, but he was represented by the CRO. Before we started, there were private people who came and donate the rims which our schools so needed, and other maintenance, because they were complaining that some of this infrastructure is very old. But this company came and donate maintenance equipment, and then the rims also for other schools. 2 schools they assisted in the rural Erongo. This is very, very appreciated.
Yes, Minister, you spoke about a collaboration. You said that the councillor also came on board, and there are those that came to donate as well, and it's a collaborative effort at the end of the day. But how does the ministry plan to ensure consistency in educational quality and also just resources across all regions? Yes,
when we talk about resources, I think you know that we have this grant which we give to schools. This year, for example, we increase it. We used to give the primary schools 200 per learner, but then we increase it to 300. And 300 per learner in secondary, we increase it to 400. 400, 400. Yeah. So, but on top of that, so we will keep on. We don't want, learners to be sent back because of stationery. And we told the principals, you are a CEO of the school, and you know your community. Why can't you, now their academic year is not the same like our financial year. The money we were portioned to them during this year, they must budget in such a way that by the end of the year, they buy that stationery, the basics one. So that come January, they have to have something in place. And when it comes to now consistent, we have structures in place. The regional officers, that's why after 3 months we meet with them. We expect to monitor from day one, monitoring, whether it's through the education officers or the inspectors and the principals. We expect them, since they are on a daily basis at school, to ensure that learners are in the classrooms, teachers are in the classrooms, so that the teaching is taking place. We really, since they are the implementers, and when we come there, we want to see whether teaching really took place. And then we can't go wrong. But if they cannot help us in that, then of course, then we will have some problems.
So, yes. So you mentioned already community involvement, but just to look at how can their involvement be enhanced in terms of just getting support from the community, and let it not just be a government issue when it comes to the needs of schools.
Yes, we emphasize this collaboration, and we have school boards, and I was so happy because we just, I think it's last month, they started already this month, the Regional Education Forum in all our our regions, and they are at a, you know, at a higher level than school boards. Through the school boards, you know, we are not saying schools must not ask parents maybe funds or whatever, but our staff member from the ministry, who are teachers, principal, before they ask the parents, they have to present, for example, the financial statement for the school, for the parents to see the money we are giving them, how they utilize it. And then explain to the parents, we have this in place, but we are still short with this one. For a person who has something must come on board, even in kind. But we are also urging our businesses, please support the school which is in your vicinities and also beyond. Because we are saying education alone, as a ministry, we will not manage. And at this juncture, let me also appreciate all these people who are helping us. Maybe you saw some blocks at some of school with a Japanese sign. They are come on board. MTC also, they almost built in each region a block of 5 or 4 classrooms. This is a good example, and we call them friends in education.
Of course. And as you round up, Deputy Minister, perhaps just, I know teachers play a critical role in terms of just education in itself, because they are on the ground, they are with the learners. What measures does the ministry have in place to support them and also just to enhance their teaching strategies?
As we engage them, what I never thought about, they came up and told me, no, you are only, you know, you just want to assist learners and learners. But what about the teachers who have problems? Some of the teachers must be assisted also with mental health. And maybe it's the work is overwhelming. But what we have in place for teachers to teach the way we want them to teach in a classroom, we have continuous professional development. For teachers who are complaining and say, not complaining, maybe register that maybe the subject they are teaching, some of the subject they don't know, we have this in place. And we are telling the principals also, while their head of departments are with them, they must support. The day that principal is away from school, nobody will see that the principal is not at school. So we expect the principal, they don't teach full. Therefore, the time we give them to assist other teachers. But this screen, the touch screens we have in the classroom is also another equipment to assist our teachers.
Of course. And what measures are being taken to monitor and evaluate the impact of this intervention and strategies across all regions?
You mentioned a very, very important, the monitoring. The monitoring. You know, if you look at our structures, at the school level, we have head of subjects, then we have principals. But when you come to the regional office, we have educational officers who are monitoring certain field of study of class subjects on top of the on top of the director, and then we have also inspectors. We really expect these people to be in schools. I know the problems we're experiencing, maybe transport or whatever, but that's why we need to link our schools, because even virtual, you can monitor some of the things, yes. But monitoring, I can't emphasize it more, but it is very important that teaching and learning, not only teaching, quality teaching, so that learners pass with quality symbols, A, B, C. When we went to the regions, we only check on the learners, how many learners got these quality symbols, A star, A, B, C. Because if they are more, then we can expect good result end of the year.
Of course. Thank you so much for being with us in the studio today. And I hope that you'll continue to monitor and also just making sure that the Namibian child receives the best education that will enhance them in the future. Thank you, Minister.
Thank you so much.
All right. That was the Minister of Education, Deputy Minister of Education, Arts and Culture, Faustina Caley, who was just discussing some of the findings from the regional visits that they just have recently. We'll be right back.